Hey there, everybody, how's it going? Nightshade here from IvD Gaming. Check us out, ivdgaming.com. Really quickly, let's just bring that up. Let's just fix that. Hey, life's good. I am just doing a couple of replays here for you guys and girls on YouTube. Hope you will enjoy this a great deal. I know that I'm having a lot of fun casting these up for you. And for those of you following live on Twitch as I record these, hey, thanks for joining us as well. Of course, mad shoutouts to you guys as well. And we'll start off, ladies and gentlemen, down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, representing IvD Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the Grandmaster Terran, Ruff. Absolutely fabulous. Check him out. He also does a lot of good coaching, and I'm not talking to... Oh, actually, no, he's not just good. He's really, really good. He's extremely good at figuring out your play style and then accommodating it into the build orders. Just trying to make sure you're a cleaner player, so check him out as well. I get my coaching through him. Just speaking from experience, just thought I'd give him a little bit of a plug. Of course, Barracks going down right after that. He likes to do a lot of unorthodox strategies. We'll try to walk through what he's thinking. Now, up in the top right-hand corner... interesting character in the StarCraft 2 community. Very outspoken, I would say, but has some valid points. A lot of people like him, a lot of people hate him, and that goes without saying. If you're doing it right, you're going to piss off a couple people doing it. So, but nonetheless, his opponent is none other than Grandmaster Terran Avilo. Now, or Avilo, whichever way you want to call it. I think it's Avilo. Anyway, Avilo up in the top right-hand corner is, or I think it's Avilo. Yeah, either way. Avilo, let's go with that. It's North American pronunciation. He's going to grab his gas really quickly. Of course, we have the same out of Ruff. Ruff is going to grab his gas just as fast. And so we can expect Reapers out of both of these players. It's a great scouting unit in TvT. It's almost a necessity. You can, of course, tech switch out of it really, really quickly. We're just kind of trying to keep an eye peeled. There is the Reaper on the one side of the coin. Interesting choice here by Avilo. He is actually going to go with a Marine first. Actually, double a Marine first. He's going to save up the gas and then go with factory play. So, interesting choice. Ruff switches things up by quite a bit. Okay, this was recorded before the DC LAN. I can't recall if Avilo won it or not. So, yeah. So here we go. And just going to point out a couple things. When Ruff does his builds, he's very unconventional, but they're also very well thought out. He likes to borrow builds from people, but when he does, he mentions them on his stream, which is always kind of nice. He uses mine from occasion. Why he does this, if you're wondering, is because if you do get attacked on this particular map, it's very hard to defend this corner, especially when everything is at the bottom of the ramp. So as units spawn out of a barracks that would normally be placed at the top of the ramp, they get killed off pretty easy. So use a bunker up here, keep the barracks back. So as you can see, they're just quickly chatting about that. CC going to go down behind this. This is, again, very, very standard here. Ruff is going to do a Reaper expand build. Nothing out of the ordinary. He's going to do a quick scan here. And the big things he's checking for, of course, gas. He's checking for the gas, of course, and now he's in a bit of a problem because now he can't get all the way around. Nice placement of these supply depots by Avilo. I'm going to have to start using that in my builds. And just that absolutely throws a monkey wrench into the pathing of Reapers. And he kills off that Reaper fairly well, but it did get the scouting information he needed. And of course, he realizes that this is going to be a 1-1-1 build. We do have a tech lab going down. We can expect to see the supply starport, rather, float on over to that. Command center is going to finish up fairly soon here. But we can see the exact same thing out of... Well, not quite the exact same thing. I stand corrected. Out of Ruff, he is going to go with double factory. So, going to go with a mech-based play. I don't know if I agree with this or not, but then who am I to argue with Grandmaster Terrans? They can do what they want. And I've watched him just when he's kind of screwing around. He plays better than I do. So, really, who am I to argue? And a double factory is pretty potent. You can really crank out a lot of tanks. And Tank Hellion or Tank Hellbat is actually quite scary. And on this map, there's a lot of chokes. So it actually works really, really well. If you're going with these massive, massive armies, it kind of slows things down. But if you have a handful of Reapers up front, or rather, not Reapers, Hellbats up front, speaking of a little bit of a fire problem, Hellion is going to do a little bit of roasting, catch himself one SCV at the very least. Going to continue to wait around and cook away, as Avilo is going to feel pretty good about just burning away a supply depot. Just cooking it. I'm sure there's stores inside that burn just fine. There is a squad of Marines following this up. I don't know how... Ruff is going to... Oh, yeah. Just when you think he's going to go tank, he goes Thor. And so Thor is in production. Not quite halfway done yet. They do take quite a bit of time. And memory serves me, it's like a minute. Yeah, it's a minute. And so he's going to have to pick on up and abandon his natural, unfortunately. Although I think Avilo just doesn't know what's quite up this ramp, so he's a bit scared to follow up. And you can see he's like, I don't know if I should. Now that he realizes that it's maybe not that bad, again, he's just being really, really careful. He's going for the structure he can get very, very easily. And so this is going to be a little bit tricky here. That is going to supply block him, though. And Ruff's going to be a little bit of a problem. But if you guys are wondering, Thor is unbelievably good. But Avilo does have himself a Banshee. You can see the micro of his is actually quite fast. The Hellions, though, of Ruff are going to chase down these Marines, taking care of a good number of them, but kind of stalling at standstill. I think their engines ran out of gas. Maybe there's a bit of a, an oil shortage. And nope, there is no oil shortage. They're going to continue just running along fine. Going to head themselves back up into the base. Of course, Natural is going to take itself back down. Ruff should have an advantage with this, at the very least, for a short period of time. If he can get this up and running, that's the big catch, as Avilo is just getting his expansion up right now. Really quickly taking a look at his base. Of course, nothing's really changed, just the building placements and the add-ons that are on them. Economy is looking absolutely fantastic. Of course, supply depot is going down as well. But Avilo looking to expand before he does anything too crazy. He does have, of course, himself a Raven. Ravens are pretty good against small numbers of light units, such as Marines, but not so good against fast-moving units, such as these Hellions. Now, the Thor is not going to really get away from a Hunter-Seeker missile or anything else. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry. But it can absorb the blast. It's only 100 hit points off a Hunter-Seeker missile, and it's got 400 hit points. You do the math. That leaves him with a very happy 3/4 of his health remaining. So, yeah, as we do watch, of course, yeah, there we go. Everything is going to be going. And this is the big thing that I'm going to point out here. Economy. So important you get it up faster. 1,200 minerals-ish, 1,100 to 1,200 minerals. Gas is the same, both players. That's going to continue to climb. As you can see now, Ruff is starting to pull ahead. Lots of Hellions on the map. If you can get them into the mineral lines, that's going to look really, really good for Ruff. And Avilo, on the other hand, is playing uber safe. Again, unit-producing structures. He's only got the 3. Nothing's really changed there as well. He's just going to continue to crank out units with what he's got. Realistically, off one base, you can only afford to crank units out off of those 3 structures at any given particular point in time. There is a nice little medevac drop flying around. It's got just 2 Hellions and a Marine. It's going to fly, but there is nothing here to defend. Just taking a quick look. Ruff is going to push at the front door. Siege Tank's going to say no, and and fair enough. And a nice Hunter, rather point defense drone is going to go down and basically nullify these Thors from being able to attack these air targets. It's going to be a bit of a nuisance. It is running low on energy, though. If you can just get a couple more salvos off on it. Hellions, on the other hand, are basically denying this expansion from going down. There is this engagement here up in, rather the drop going off. The medevac has been shot down, but the Hellions have not been mopped up just quite yet. I imagine these, yes, they are rallied towards them, actually, so they will get taken care of as well. But so far, Ruff in command of this game. Workers have been pulled down, so likewise with Marines as well, trying to see if there's a way that they can push on forward. Avilo, very nice control here on his siege tanks here, as he's just going to continue to push on up. That drop does get mopped up, unfortunately, this missile turret. No, it does get saved by that one SCV. But back to the action. And Thor's foolishly chasing, oh gosh, not the best position here. There is some SCVs here on a diligent repair duty, buffing out the paint here on this Thor. That did take a couple of, well, unfortunate scratches here. And again, this orbital command is here, and it's just like, it wants to land, and I can respect that. But I think these Thors and the missile turret that Ruff put here are going to have something to say about that. Now there's going to be a big push here. Siege tanks are going to siege up on the low ground here. SCVs have been pulled to help fight as well. Thors are going to fall. Hellions are going to fall as well. And finally, some 12 minutes into the game, Avilo has taken his base. Which, I mean, came at great expense, but also at the same time, if we do take a look at the resources lost tab, Ruff is actually well away. 1,500 resources lost by comparison to his opponent. He is, I think he caught, I'm not sure, I think he caught these Banshees. We'll see in just a couple of minutes here. Looks like he's getting ready to take his own third base. But I need to point out, Ruff has been on his natural for a lot longer than Avilo has, so he's going to be able to out-macro, at least for the short period of time. And one Banshee does fall rather quickly as well. Looks like it's going to catch a couple of SCVs off guard, but only catching 1 kill so far. Trying to do as much as it can. There's another one, and unfortunately, yeah, I like that one SCV is like, whoa, wrong place, turns around, heads back, but not enough, not quickly enough. And is going to fall, and unfortunately, that will do it. And this Banshee's going to head right on out. Now that interesting. I'm surprised he's not actually continuing on with the harassment. But Ruff is going to be making a big switch on over to starports. Oh, please tell me you're going battle cruisers. Oh, yeah, battle cruiser. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I love battle cruisers. They're like the bestest unit of all time in TvT. He who gets to the battle cruiser first wins. For some reason, my TvT has been absolutely horrible. I should perhaps take a page out of Ruff's book. Maybe we all should. Avilo is now finally expanded on out. Not quite optimal saturation here. Both players just trying to struggle to keep their naturals up and running, since both of them are basically trying to kill each other the entire time. Really good harass here out of Ruff as he's going to drive on out of here. As he's just, again, quick poking and prodding here. And Banshee's going to do a little bit of quick poking and prodding as well. Going to get at least one more SCV before realizing that turrets versus Banshees. Banshees generally don't come out ahead, unfortunately. Hellions are going to push on over here. Again, he's checking all of these bases, checking to make sure, you know, where the expansion's at. And he's going to catch himself at least one SCV kill worthwhile. And we can see that Thor here is the one line of defense as well. And just noticing on the chat, yes, Legacy. I pronounce Avilo's name differently every single time because Avilo is going to siege up on the low ground here and get a lot of shots off up into the high ground here as well. Oh, this has got to be painful. I mean, Ruff is going to have to pack up and move on out. This is like an eviction party, and the exterminator is Avilo, but he is going to pick up, flying out. And unfortunately, the siege tanks don't have medevacs of their own. No big deal. Ruff is going to pack up and move on over. It looks like he's heading towards his third. Judging by the way this is flying and that is silhouetted on the ground, and that's indeed the way he is going to be going with it. Avilo is going to continue on with his Banshee play. I like it a lot. It is getting a lot of work done. Just, it does have its limits, and this is where he needs to be pushing across the map here. Ruff is in a transition stage right now, if you guys are wondering. He's trying to bank up minerals so he can get his battle cruisers out. He has a couple, but they're best in numbers. That's the reality of them. 2 or 3, great if there's small numbers of units. But 6 Vikings will take care of this with a little bit of micro, honestly. In fact, 2 really well microed Vikings can take care of these. But the catch-22 is Ruff wants to be able to get enough that he can move across the map and not really be too concerned about whether or not he's going to be able to keep these alive on the other side of the map. So he's in a transition stage, like I was trying to say. He doesn't have a lot of units that are very, very quick. He has these Hellions. So this is the time when Avilo could really be looking at it and going, okay, maybe if you scan it, you'd get a good look. He would realize that there is 4 starports here, you know, doing a lot of work, but he's not able to get really good scouts because Ruff has been shutting down a lot of these drop plays. Speaking of drop, there is one heading on in here. This is what I was talking about. You know, like these are the plays you have to determine where your tech path of your opponent is going and get on in there. And I think that's about what Avilo has been trying to do. He's getting the drops off here. Siege tank is going to siege up right away, and Ruff in a lot of trouble here as this force is going to start working away on the economy absolutely immediately. Unfortunately for Avilo, there's a lot of battle cruiser here just ready to go to work. And if you guys did not know, Marauders do not shoot into the sky. They are going to fall very, very quickly here. But a number of workers have been killed off, and that's going to slow things down by a little bit. There's also a double-pronged attack on the right-hand side here. Unfortunately, battlecruiser is not very, very quick at all. Again, sieging up, picking up the orbital command, flying it on out of here. Vikings are going to arrive first. Battlecruisers are going to take their time flying on over there like, oh, we'll get there. It'll be okay. Don't worry. Drink some vodka. It'll be good. They are going to start working away. Of course, that Russian captain of theirs is just like, yeah, open fire. And off they go. Yes, and they're like, you know what? It's okay. We drink more vodka. We continue to drive across the map. I'm not trying to say that StarCraft captains are alcoholics. No, or neither is alcoholism. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, considering the fact that these are Russian captains flying these things, that they probably got a bottle in their place or two. They're going to continue flying on over here towards this third base, or rather fourth base expansion. Either way, Yamato cannons going off as well. And good battlecruiser numbers here as well. But there is another drop going on up in the base of Ruff. And Ruff is going to be in a little bit of a pickle here. He's got siege tanks out front. He's got himself a little bit of a counter drop going on. If they can actually take care of the production, this will be absolutely phenomenal here for Avilo. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to be going for. Meanwhile, Ruff is like, screw that. I'm going to just continue to lay absolute waste, killing off all of these SCVs one by one. Bunker's going to drop. There is absolutely nothing in sight here that can take this force on. Not even this turret. The turret's like, come on, get closer. I dare you to shoot. But Ruff is looking for the base trade. Ruff has been known to be exceedingly good at winning on those, and against battlecruisers, he's going to be in really good fine form. Hellions are in production as well. We do have additional ones cranking on out. They're going to be driving away across the map here. But Avilo is trying to shut this all down, and so far he's taken care of 2 of these starports. But that does not negate the fact that you have a battlecruiser problem, and Avilo, they are located within your base. As they continue to fire away, Yamato cannons taking care of the Vikings from a long range, leaving 1 survivor here to try and fight this many. Good freaking luck. But this is going to take a little bit of time to clean things up, and as these units spawn, they are getting sniped. But that goes with the saying that Avilo is doing exactly the same thing, and Hellions are dropping like flies to this force. Medevacs are good on energy, so this force will be nice and healthy all the time as the production of Ruff is just getting absolutely decimated here. There is an orbital command that is going to fly on over and land above the rocks, so nothing is going to touch, at least for the short term. There are some tanks on over here trying to get up onto the high ground, but not able to do so. Again, battlecruisers continue to work away. There is a Hellion working on over here, trying to kill off some SCVs. SCVs are like, no, screw you, we're going to kill you first. But there is, of course, these SCVs have been pulled off the mineral lines. They know that they're going to do repair duties. And, yeah, just buffing out the paint, getting everything cleaned on up, change the oil, and away you go, ready to shoot. And speak of the devil, there goes a Yamato cannon, and going to kill off some... Wow, that is just flying all over the place. There we go. Very excited mouse. It's just like, oh my gosh, there's action going on. Let's just fly out to the right-hand side of the screen. And SCVs are going to die as well. They're going to evacuate, but not without... Well, they didn't get anywhere. They're just dead. And orbital command's going to fall. Supply depots are going to fall. And as this absolute metric ton of cattle bruisers are going to move along, and Ruff is saying, yep, turret's pretty good unit. Yep, that's fairly accurate statement here. He's in a rough spot here, as you can see. He's got turrets backed up on everyone, but these tanks did get up the rocks here. The orbital command has fallen off on the right-hand side of the map, but there's nothing that can fly here. Lots of turrets here to help trying to keep things together here. As you can see, the battlecruiser is going to continue to work away. Yamatos are going to fire off, taking care of at least 3 of them. The last remaining orbital command here on the map here is going to go. There's a couple of starports over here catching some Vikings here. This is a total 100% grade A base race. There's not a lot of structures here left for Ruff. Just a handful of supply depots and this fusion core. And, oh, this is just so close. It's not like Ruff can land either. He'd have to mop up a lot of other units here on the map. Now, he does have these SCVs, so if he does able to get it landed, he's going to be in good shape. Now Avilo is revealed. He can actually hunt down all of these units, and he's going to fly on over here first, taking out the one starport. Then it'll be the second afterwards. I'm pretty sure that this SCV is going to get caught in the middle here somewhere. And, oh, he survives. He is going to survive. Oh, no, not I. He won't survive. Nope. And there we go. It is going to fly on over here. But now it's going to get a little bit tricky here, as the orbital command has fallen and Ruff has been revealed. There's not a lot left here. He's got to get back. Actually, these are the only 2 structures left on the map right now, unless Ruff throws down some kind of structure somewhere, but he doesn't have any economy to do so. It's basically 2 Marauders and a tank. They are going to take care of this fusion core. Does it fall? That's the question. Oh my gosh, the SCVs are going to get so close and they start repairing, and the battle cruisers rip them apart and saves the day. But there is no more money, and it's now up to Ruff. I think yeah, that's exactly the best idea. He's going to leave a force here to defend while the battle cruisers fly on over the map. But what does he have left? He's got a good number of Vikings here, and well managed. This can actually be really scary. There's some siege tanks. Well, no big deal. Siege tanks can't take care of these battle cruisers, but Ruff, I don't know how he's going to take care of this. Yeah, he's just going to have to leave a couple units behind or something, split up his forces, whatever, and figure out how he's going to do it, because this is what he has to kill. And one thing I've known by watching Ruff is he's really good at base strides. He has the patience here to take care of this. And as we see, there is still a starport. There's lots of turrets. This is going to be a problem. A good number of Vikings, but with good amount of energy. If he grabs the right ones with the most energy, like this one here, this one's got a couple Yamatos available for it. Only takes 100 energy for a Yamato, and this one as well. Like, all of these are in really good shape. So some SCVs are going to head on out here. I think they're going to figure out what's safe and what's not. Now, keep in mind, there are no orbital commands, there's no command centers, and there's no planetary fortresses for either player. So they know what each other has. And a couple of SCVs are going to get killed off. I'm not sure what the purpose of this is. I think maybe it's just to determine where unit locations are. I'm not quite certain. It's just kind of baffling my mind a little bit, or at least to establish what's going on. He does know what he has for Vikings. So Ruff has a little bit of advantage there, so it's not like he's going out blind. Yeah, and he's going to fly it with both of these battle cruisers. They both have good energy, leaving 4 of them behind. Not a bad choice either, but considering the fact that there is actually these 6 Vikings can take care of these battle cruisers reasonably well. There's a Marine on over here. It's dead. There we go. And somebody's going to get a plug. Seahawks hype, yo. Because, you know, I forgot to freaking put my Do Not Disturb on. And away we go. Yeah, Avilo is going to run for his life. Battle cruisers in hot pursuit. And it's like a race, and actually the tank is winning. I'm not sure how that works. Like, big freaking engine on the back of this aircraft, you know, or rather spacecraft. You know, big, huge, monstrous engine. You can see the fusion core in the center of it just working away. But they are going to get at the tank. Tank only has so much room on a map to go. Oh my goodness, this is going to be absolutely fantastic for Ruff. He has exactly the right number of battle cruisers here to take care of this. And even with the forces on the ground, oh my gosh, he's going to land the Vikings. Oh, this is just absolutely devastating. He's going to go for the coup de grace, the death blow, as quick as he can. And is it going to be enough? No. He's going to lose all his Vikings. That pretty much will spell it. He has nothing with which to counter these battle cruisers. This is so good for Ruff. He's got himself these 2 battle cruisers out on the map, but there is this small force here for Avilo as he's going to push on out. There is the Widow Mine, the SCV, but units-wise, take a look at the units tab up in the top left-hand side of the screen, guys. Oh, wow. This is just absolutely scary. There's one Viking, and yeah, this is intense. Ruff is trying to take care of it and do good damage. Battle cruisers, 7 of them. 1 Viking and 4 SCVs. No money for repairs, though, so the SCVs are good for attack move. There is a Widow Mine. There is 1 SCV. There is 2 siege tanks, 1 hidden away in the bushes here. Hiding. He is so lonely. He's camping. You know, he's got himself his field tent up. He's taking a nap. Life is good. The other guy can work. That's what it's all about. And a Marine, well, the Marine is, where did he go? There he is. He's going for a walk. He's just checking. I don't know where he's headed. He's going somewhere important, though. I mean, look at that. Why he's going to stop right now? He's going to head on back this way. What he's doing, I have no idea, but I know that Ruff is absolutely working off on down on these supply depots. We've all been in this situation where you're sitting there. Now, if you're a Ruff situation, you're like, yeah, winning is good, yeah, I gotta kill this. But then you can also be panicking going, what does he have? I need to kill this stuff as quickly as I can. Oh my god. But then if you're Avilo, you're like, how on earth do I finish this? How do I win this game? What do I do to try and get a good shot? Ruff, on the other hand, seems a pretty good base training. You must do it again. Toss a lot like me. Oh, a little BM from Avilo, and did a terrible strat build, apparently. Okay, whatever, no big deal. And I don't know if he hid the BCs. I think they were pretty much in his base. But we always know, we saw what went on. Battlecruiser's going to get a couple of shots off here. Taking care of these turrets from long range is the way to do it. You don't want to engage those directly. That's like giving away free units. A little bit of crying out of Ruff. It's very unfortunate. You know, this is one of those games where, yeah, that's just the way it is. Avilo is going to tap out. We got you covered, big guy. And, of course, Ruff is victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, check him out, IvDgaming.com or IvDgaming.tv.